BBC Universe.
Welcome to part one of this strange three-parter. So the first part is because the microphone might die. The second part is so I can explain it more, and the third part is so I can do an omnibus with a twist. So that'll be a part 3, but it'll just be the first two parts at the beginning, third part at the end. So this video series, three-parter, is all about the future of Tom Mason, the future of me on YouTube. Now the reason why I'm doing this under this banner on this channel instead of where it should belong on the TGM Productions channel, well, I had a conversation with TGM, and we agreed that it's easier that we individually talk about the channels every so often. So a few times we've done it. We're going to be doing one in Taskmaster World in a few weeks, where I'm going to talk about what's going to happen with Taskmaster World, because I haven't uploaded on that channel in a while. For this, we wanted to talk about the future of this channel is all about we're gonna limit. We're gonna try and be more TV-ified. So the stuff I want to do more of is Huanori. The stuff I want to do more of is Doctor Who Earthbound. I want to do more Doctor Who spin-offs. I want to do more Doctor Who sketch shows, Doctor Who improvised shows, Doctor Who web series, the Time Vortex. I want to do more of these things. And my brand new sitcom, Did You Know? Which, when I filmed it, wasn't a sitcom, but now is the pilot for a sitcom. But sadly, the reason why it wasn't a very good pilot for a sitcom is because Jurassic accidentally took over and went, I want to tell a fact, and he's a monster, so I couldn't argue with him because I didn't want to, I didn't want him to fight Godzilla, so I try and keep him under control. So there'll be more visual, creative stuff rather than just discussions, which will happen to movie news will stay, but that will just try and improve even more than it is doing. Discussion will occur within the time vortex, and if I can't think of, if I haven't got something scripted or improvised planned for that day, then I will do the discussion video still, because it's what I've been doing on the channel, so I have to keep that going. But I want to do more scripted, improvised comedy dramas type thing, and there'll be more from it. So Huanori isn't scripted really, to be reading from the books, and that is my version of Jackanory. And I'm hoping one day, I'm just trying to work out how to. I want to develop my own spin-off of Huanori, or where it's an adaptation of CBB's bedtime stories, which is Doctor Who-ified. The thing with that, and the reason why that hasn't happened yet, is I'm trying to work out a good title, because Huanori was a cracking title, and I'm trying to work out to make sure that it's different from Jackanory, and I'm trying to work out how they made CBB's bedtime stories different to what they had at the time before bedtime series existed, Jackanory Jr., which was the revival from Jackanory, the spin-off reboot revival from Jackanory Jr. So I'm trying to work out what elements to take in, and because they were filming at Glastonbury recently, I'm trying to look at behind the scenes and work out how do you make a CBeebies bedtime story, but how do you make that differently to how you would have made Jackanory, because they were both include celebrity storytellers. So there's elements like ideas like that, and there's this idea that I said coming soon, which has gone further back in development, so much so that it might not happen anymore, because it was going to be its own YouTube channel. But then when I made that video, I thought it needs to be on this channel, and then what it was has sort of crumbled away. It will happen because the title is probably, but it might happen in a separate channel. It might not even be Doctor Who related. Who knows just yet? I know it will be from the world of Doctor Who, but it just needs to develop further. So GGM, we're a little bit, we want to apologise for announcing it too early, but it is still in development, but it will take a good while. So, as we go further down the deep ends of the fact that, to recap, we want to do less discussion videos, more improvised and scripted. The next improvised and scripted thing that we'll be releasing is the very first episode of our brand new sitcom, Did You Know? The reason why it's called Did You Know is because the whole idea of it was based on Jurassic when I give you a fact, but then it's like, well, no, Jurassic, you shouldn't just give a fact out. You have to behave, and that's the whole premise of the show. The premise will adapt. The whole show will adapt, but for now, Did You Know is that, and the thumbnail's always going to stay where it is. It's not going to be one of my fancy thumbnails. It's going to be the traditional thumbnail I've been using on this channel due to the fact that Jurassic needs to be contained. We need to not make him too big-headed, and sort of you have to sort of go, no, Jurassic, no, and that's what the sitcom is trying to tame Jurassic. And so there will be more scripted and semi-improvised shows. So Doctor What is completely improvised, but shows like Did You Know maybe semi-improvised, where there's bits of script but not full scripts. So without further ado, that's the end of part 1. I'll see you next time for part 2. That'll be tomorrow, once I've put batteries in the microphone so that we don't die. And then I'll see you soon in the future. So we'll go today, Saturday the 5th of July, part 1. It'll go tomorrow, Sunday the 6th of July, part 2. And it'll go in 3 or 4 weeks. Omnibus. It'll go the future part Omnibus part 3. Part 3 Omnibus. Right, the Omnibus probably will be in brackets to pave the way. There's really an Omnibus, it's just shoving part 1 and 2 at the beginning so that I can add context to part 3, because it will be a few weeks since. Welcome to part 2 of 3. But this is the final part for now, because the third part will be in a month, 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, 4 years, who knows. And the reason why we do that is so that the third part can be the one where I give my final opinions, and if I want to do it in 4 years, it's because 4 years time I might have a new opinion, I might have new thoughts, and I don't want this to be the, oh, he's moaning, oh no, we don't want that. What we want is, this is me giving an open discussion and openly saying, this is what I want to do, this is why I want to do it, and this is why I want to tell you I want to do it. This is, it's one of those things where at TGM we feel that we should be open with myself. Me and TGM make things for my own pleasure, right? For me, for no one else, just for me, right? Sometimes we do it so that I've got it in the archive, so in the future I can look back and watch it. My website is updated 24/7 every single day. I use Substack to write articles. My website was just updated last night. It's going to be updated today. There's other aspects of it, like when I say updated, new stuff added to it, and new sections added, or new ways of viewing it added. Getting inspired by other websites, by other production websites, by other personality websites, like people's like YouTuber websites, or websites of lower YouTube people that I used to watch and now just follow online on other platforms. So everything's always in a revolving state, and that's what this is for. This is for me to say everything's revolving, everything's changing, everything's improving, and what I want to make is this, and I like to make that straightforward, and so that, because this isn't scripted, and because whatever I say is off the top of my head, it gives me the opportunity to say, well, yes, that's what I want to do, and I've said it now, so that is what I want to do. And so, one of the aspects I want to talk about in this one, and this is obviously going to be a second part, so the second part's always shorter than the first, is the fact that I love performing. Right? According to Google, this would count as a performance, but I wouldn't say it is. It's presenting, not this, not this. The others are all presenting, if you really want to put it in that bracket. But this is apparently performance, according to Google. A lot of things happen in life according to Google. So on my website, I wrote the word performer, and I want to do more performance on this channel. I know on Tom's the Comedy Club I do stand-up, sketches, sitcoms, comedy web series that I try my hardest to perform as the everyday man, the person that doesn't crack. And I think that didn't always work. But I think on this channel we've got Doctor Who, Earthbound, we've got Who and Nori, Doctor What, Doctor Whatever, the Fandom of Doom. We've got all of these things, and did you know the new sitcom that's developing every time I think about it? And that's what we want. We want something that I can just press record and go, today I'm playing this character, I'm performing, and it's going to be about Doctor Who, right? I'm never. The thing I need to steer away from is going. It's Donald Curry saying, "Hello, I'm Dave. I've been asked by Tom to take over the channel." I need to not do that. That's the type of performance I need to steer away from. I need to press record and go, "It's an alien invasion," and that's what I thought when it turned on the news. But actually, it was just a flying saucer deal at the piece down the road. Hello, my name's Dave, and welcome to It's Alive! That's the type of thing I should do. Because that means that it's a segment, it's a thing, and he's not just saying he's been forced to by some lot called Tom Mason, and he's Dave, and he's someone else. I also need to improve the costume by not just making it swapping of a hat, which keeps on being the thing. But when you think about it, that's what I want. I want to perform more, I want to do more scripted things on this channel that are Doctor Who based. And that's it. I want to expand the boundaries of what you can do with Doctor Who in this world. Obviously, Whovian News is where I'm trying to make it more into a news thing. I'm trying to improve it all the time. At the beginning, I did it one method, and now I'm doing it a different method. And that's fine. And the discussions where I want to talk about the truth of the articles, and I want to just sort of break down what's going on, that's fine. And I just have to make sure that's more of a performance than a just rambling man who said, "I'll press record now. I'll press record now. I'll press record now." We don't want that. We want it to sound and feel more structured. Like this was planned, right? It was planned to do a three-parter, so the third part I can talk about in months to come, years to come, so that the third part can be whatever my future opinion is, but part 1 and 2 is my current 2025, as of the 6th of July 2025, is my opinion and my thoughts and my feelings right now. This is only for the Tom Mason channel, because on TGM we would have talked about this over on the soon-to-be rejigged TGM Productions, the podcast, which we're still trying to work out what to do with it. And that's the thing. So I do a lot of things, and you have to try and rejig them to make them better. And so the Blue Box Files, which is now an interview-based podcast, so it wasn't before. If you look at the history of that podcast, you can see that it's changed in its career. Ignore the different episodes of other podcasts, because I didn't know how other feeds worked. So it's all changed, and that will keep on improving itself, because it'll be my skill of interview will improve every time I do a new one. And so to round off my opinions, to round off how I feel in part 2, is that I want to do more performing. Now, whether or not that means to make the discussion videos, Whovian News interviews more performative, as well as all the acting ones. Well, who knows? I do want to say that there will be some Doctor Who based comedy, stand-up comedy, coming to Tom's Comedy Club in the future. What I mean by that is I've got a Jurassic puppet, and so that'll be used on that channel. That's it. And there'll be all Doctor Who references here and there within that, but it's mainly just the puppet element, and because I think Jurassic is brilliant and it should be more in the comedy world. The final part in the 3-part series, The Future. Yes, it's been a month since the last 2 parts, which is what we wanted. We wanted the 3rd part to be so far away that I had a new opinion, new outlook, and new angle to take on the topic. So today we're talking about the future of not Tom Mason and TNG Productions as a whole, but as at the Secret Project, aka Doctor Who Earthbound and all its many spin-offs. Yes, the reason why I call it the Secret Project is because when I first started teasing Doctor Who Earthbound, I decided to do it in a mysterious way. So it worked. And so I created a playlist called The Secret Project. And that is what I've kept all the information in. Even though I've now got playlists for the individual series, the individual spin-offs and whatnot, I decided to keep the Secret Project going as a playlist so that I could save some of the one-off minisodes and some of the prequels that were one-offs that don't have a home elsewhere, playlist-wise. So, here's the future of Doctor Who Earthbound as a franchise. So I've created something called the Fan Whoniverse, which is where my series and many other series will live. My stuff and everyone else's around the world. I'm calling it that. That's me personally. So Doctor Who Earthbound at the moment is currently in production of its 3rd series. We've released 2 episodes with a mini-sode and a story so far. We have got the next episode 3, 4 and 5 and the next 4 episodes to go. I am going to announce this here, but the 4th series after the current series ends will be the 4th and final series in the Doctor Who Earthbound story. Not the end of the Doctor, my Doctor, and all my other characters. It will be the end of the Earthbound saga. So, the Earthbound saga will officially end when A, Doctor Who Earthbound Series 4 comes out, and B, some new projects come out. So with the expenditure of the Whoniverse, the Fan Whoniverse, and the expenditure of Earthbound's potentials, I mentioned this in a video called Coming Soon. I created in the Coming Soon video, I talked about a project that I was working on that I wasn't too sure whether or not on the Tom Mason channel or its own channel because it was a multimedia project. What I mean by that is that in your dreams, which is my Doctor Who Earthbound spin-off with the Dream Lord, detailing the Dream Lord's personality and who he is so that I can utilise him more within Earthbound. That was multimedia from the sense of some parts of it was visual and some parts of it was audio, right? This new multimedia project was going to have a film, like part 1 was be audio and the main adventure, and part 2 was be like the side adventure and visual. So the visual film stuff would be part 2 and the audio stuff would be part 1 to utilise more of the outdoor world, to utilise more interesting areas. I wasn't too sure if I was going to do it, but then I created a YouTube channel called Time Hoppers, which is the brand new Doctor Who fan series I'm working on that utilises my Doctor throughout it, but the main purpose is about a person who finds they've got this mission, right? And then last night I decided, well, yes, I know what I want to do is Time Hoppers. Yes, I've already released 1 video, but I want to make it a spin-off of Doctor Who Earthbound to make sure that it all links in. So all the Doctor segments are going to be linked to the 3rd series of Doctor Who Earthbound. So, in the Secret Project playlist, we now have the Journey Has Only Just Begun film, teaser, whatever you want to call it, in the comments in that playlist. And if you look in the description where I normally promote who made the theme tune for this channel, I've now promoted that YouTube channel itself, so it's a separate entity. So you could go and subscribe to that, or you can look in the Secret Project folder and watch the video down there. Now that isn't the only spin-off coming. I've got a visual spin-off, which will also coincide with Series 3 of Doctor Who Earthbound, and I have an audio spin-off that will also coincide with Series 3 to explain a character that needs more explanation in his own realm, so that when Earthbound ends, there's a happy resolution for this character. So that'll be an audio-only series. The visual series will utilise the Doctor in an interesting way to give us more breathing space and more time to explain what's happened between episodes. We've also got Doctor Who Earthbound, and then we've got Time Hoppers. I'm not going to announce those two audio and visual projects just yet, just in case they fall through and don't end up going any further than this conversation here. I wrote them down, so I just need to work out how I'm going to do them and whether or not they're viable to do. So, to recap, Doctor Who Earthbound will end after the 4th series airs, but it'll go Series 3, spin-off, Series 4, sequel series. There will be a sequel series. It'll just utilise the Doctor in a new adventure, in a new way, and what's next for the Doctor. Which hasn't been decided yet because I'm still working on how Earthbound will end. But I don't really want to destroy or get rid of my Doctor, so the sequel series will allow me to continue playing my version of the Doctor, and hopefully some of the other characters from that will return. So that is the overall premise and the overall thought. In thoughts of other Doctor Who projects, Who Honori, Who School, Doctor Wen and the Fandom of Doom, Doctor What, and Doctor Who Complex, they'll all return in their own way. Doctor What is my improvised series that will return in the future. Doctor Wen and the Fandom of Doom will return. I just need to work on some other sketches and some other animation bits and bobs. Who and Ori will return, but I need to work on what to do beyond the Doctor Who Mystery books, and I need to sort of work out what I want that to happen next. The same with Who School. I need to work out how to improve the series, how to develop the format, and how to make it more interesting. Same with Did You Know, that's going to return, but I need to craft the sitcom elements to go, right, so this is the situation they're in, and this is what the comedy is going to be. And Time Vortex, which was a variety show, that will return. I just need to work out what the set's going to look like for that one, and I just need to work out some aspects and some areas that are unclear to me at the moment, but will eventually be sorted, and there'll be no issues with it. So there's a lot of Doctor Who projects in the works, as well as Bingo Bob leaving the channel for now. We'll do some stand-up, we'll do some bits of comedy that way, then we'll return back here to explain what's happened to him since then. And the narrator for Doctor Who Earthbound may appear in a spin-off of his own, may appear in a sequel series, who knows, but the narrator, who is played by Albert Thorpe, or who is played by me, will return to this realm, this channel, not like this, but in another angle, in a more drama angle, because I know he's a comedy character, but I like to expand the realms of what I can do with Albert Thorpe. So, without further ado, that is where we're at with Doctor Earthbound, Series 3, 3 spin-offs, Series 4, end of Doctor Earthbound, sequel series, possibly. Who knows what will happen, and then we'll take it from there. We don't know how many series this sequel have. We don't know any of this. I just think that the way I'm looking at Earthbound, I feel like 4 series is enough, because it's going to start becoming repetitive after a 4th series. So I think ending it on the 4th will give me time to go, right, this is how I need the 3rd series, and then this is what I want the 4th series to be. This is all the characters I need to introduce. These are all the new elements I need to do, so that I can build up to a sequel series. So the 4th series is going to introduce characters, introduce scenarios, introduce props, and other things that we'll utilise in the next iteration of my Doctor Who fan series. Now, I don't know if my version of the Fan Who-niverse will include DW 2012, because I know that they've got their own multi-university thing, so I think that, because I've not talked to any of the fan creators officially, fan filmmakers and Doctor Who fan series in visual, in series, TV, visual series, audio series and films, because I've not spoken to any of them. This is just my own opinion. Like, I want to shove them all together, because what I wanted to do, and I'm happy to talk about this here briefly just before we disappear, is that I wanted to create a series called the Companion Support Group, where fan Doctor Who companions, from audio, from visual to film, all of them got together to do this. Obviously, it would be recorded in audio, but that idea never came to light, never worked. So I want to make this fan universe for my own canon, so that I know that if I want to have like my Doctors in this universe, and there's different multiverses for all the different Doctors, or it's the same person just regenerated many different times over different time periods. Who knows how that would work? But if anyone wants to pick that up and take that further, then please do. It's called the Fan Who-niverse. Take that further, and you can create a timeline, or you can work out how all the fan Doctors, or the fan companions, or the fan masters, or the fan characters all mix in this one universe. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching, and this is the end of The Future, which is the series that we're in. There'll be more from me soon. Today's date is Friday, the 8th of August, 2025. There may be a brand new video, or two brand new films. Well, one brand new interview and a brand new podcast, maybe, over on Tom's Comedy Club. I can't confirm either, and I can't deny either, because one's possible, one's a 50-50 at the moment, and one's a let's wait and see. So, without further ado, bye-bye. Don't forget to subscribe to the official Tom Mason YouTube channel